Joe! Joe の野郎。鬼姫が完全にぶっ潰しやがって。
Oh my god. Hello everyone, welcome to Joe Consumes Cinema. I'm your host, Find Me a Real Rival, and you'll see the Yabuki Joe of old return. And today we have Ashita no Joe 2, Episode 5. So right now, I'm guessing we're about to enter the phase where, when Joe starts to fight these next opponents, I believe it's Nango and Hirajima. He goes up against these guys, he tries to throw hard to the head. In some instances, he's actually successful and actually lands the punch, but then he feels sick to his stomach. I'm guessing we're going to get through that whole episode. Well, it was like 2 or 3 in Season 1, but that whole part of the story where Joe is getting physically ill when he actually, really, really tries to punch to the head. And also, Yoko is off trying to find... At this point, we don't know if it's Carlos right away or somebody else, but she said she's going off to Mexico. And Carlos is supposed to be from Argentina. So I'm not sure, maybe Carlos is Mexican in this, iteration of the show. Or maybe she tries to go there first, can't find anybody, and then, goes further south to Argentina and finds Carlos. I don't know. It's a little off and just, it's interesting picking up on these small differences thus far throughout Season 2 compared to Season 1. They're relatively small, but over time they can add up, and we can also eventually get to some really, really big changes too. But yeah, I'm thinking we're going to work through the whole storyline where Joe gets sick during his fights, maybe even enter the storyline where, the underground boxing league, the grass lot boxing that he was doing near the end of Season 1. And honestly, I'm hoping that whole storyline just goes really, really quick, like 1, 2, maybe 3 episodes, and we're dealing with Carlos again. Like, the pace has been much quicker, and this part of the story is definitely the part that I don't enjoy nearly as much as, the rest of Season 1, but it's still good and everything. Like, I'm not complaining really all that much, given everything that's happening. We're just retreading old territory in order to get to the newer stuff, and it's going so fast that it's not really a complaint. It's just something I have to, address as we go through, because I still feel the same way I did about this stuff as I did in Season 1. Like, nothing has changed there. But yeah, I'm really eager to get to this one, but before I begin, I have a special announcement. Right now, available on the Joe Consumes Cinema Patreon is the next 8 episodes of Ashita no Joe Season 2. All you have to do is click the link down below, sign up on the Joe Consumes Cinema Patreon for $1 per month, and get early access. Also, all members get a guaranteed movie request as well. With that, enjoy the reaction. He got tonight, tonight.
おっさんがよ、タオルさえ投げなきゃ俺は勝てたんだ。野郎のテンプルに思いっきりパンチを叩き込んだんだよ。
もしわしがタオルを投げなきゃ、お前は今頃タクシーなんかに乗っちゃいられねえんだぞ。チャンピオンのパンチでボロボロにされて救急車で病院に連れて行かれてるところだ。
Yeah, he's 100% right. It's the same thing. At first denial, and then eventually he has no choice but to accept it. The Elusive strike that temple.
だから俺がテンプルを撃てねえってか。
Quick reminder to like, comment, share, subscribe. Also consider signing up for my Patreon. For $1 per month, you get access to all my exclusive reactions, also a guaranteed movie request. With that, let's get right back to the reaction.
相手はもう一度タイガーだ。
バカ野郎！おめえはな、顔面の打てねえボクサーなんだ。ボディーブローだけのワンパターンでリングに登れるほどプロの世界は甘かねえんだぞ。
今度こそ顔面を打ってみせるぜ。はっきりとな。頼むぜ、おっさん。
Pushing for a rematch with Tiger? That would be a change, but is he going to get it, or are they going to offer him somebody else?
Taro-chan, ジョーってのはさ、何かあるとわざと平気な風を装ったりするのよ。
Yeah, that's true.
いいか、とにかくよ、今日明日がポイントよ。どんなことがあっても目離すなよ。
They're not wrong. I like how that looks. He's working hard, but they're still not convinced. Here we go.
おう、やってますな。
何の用だあんたら。
ご挨拶だな。昨日の今日でなんだが、矢吹君の次の対戦相手を決めてあげようと思ってね。
JBC 規定にもある通り、KO で負けた選手はその健康管理のため、最低4週間はリングには登れねえんだよ。
4週間が待てないんなら場合によっちゃ JBC 規定だって我々の力で何とかすることも。
No, this is...
俺は明日にだって OK だぜ。
黙ってろってのが分かんねえのか。
大高の会長さんよ。俺の対戦相手ってのは一体どこの誰だい？
ジョー！
うちのホープでね、バンタム1位原島
Harajima, yeah. This time they mention the JBC rules, like a fighter gets knocked out, they need at least a month with no fighting. Honestly, it's a month of no activity.
待ちなよ。
Yeah, he kinda deserved that.
おっと、どうしたんだよ、おっさ
だがな、どうしても試合に出てってんなら、このわしのテンプルを思い切りぶったらきからにしろい。
I like this. Force him to do it. Still can't.
ジェロジョー、やっぱり打てねえだろ。お前にはテンプルは打てねえんだ。
ん。勘違いするなよ。年寄りをぶっ壊したくなかっただけよ。
Joe's like forcibly backing himself into a corner, like just hoping to himself that he's going to be able to do it in the moment.
どうしたい？
どうもしねえさ。
そうかい。じゃあな。
I didn't think we'd actually see Joe talking with Rikishi's ghost. Okay, now we're in Venezuela. So she tried Mexico, didn't work out, and here's Robert.
ミスヨコ、いるんでしょうね。日本に強いボクサーが。
そんなボクサーが一人。
原島龍青コーナー歓迎健闘クラブ所属矢吹ジョー。
おっさんよ、俺は約束は守るぜ。
I really want him to be telling the truth, I just don't think he can do it.
やつが、わしのジョーが、もうこれ以上傷だらけにならねえようにって。冗談じゃねえ。いい加減にしろ。いい加減にしねえか。
This is where he fires off a real punch in anger.
調子に乗れやって。
There you go. But then he's gonna get sick.
どうしたジョー？ジョー！
Okay, took some time just to gather my thoughts. So played out very, very similar to how Season 1 did. Joe gets his next fight against Hirajima, you know, another setup by the boxing group. They were even willing to forgo the rules about, you know, Joe technically suffered a knockout loss fighting Tiger, so he's supposed to take a full month off before he can accept more fights. Really, he should take a full month off, no activity, like no training, no nothing. And then he's allowed to get back to training and take his next fight. But, you know, this is like super rushed. Joe is so eager to prove that he's, you know, beyond this weakness, that it's just a fluke. I can totally get past this. And he's just kind of like hoping internally that in the moment when he really needs it, he'll be able to punch his opponent, you know, with mean intentions to the head. And he actually does it in the Hirajima fight, but then, you know, his body like seizes up saying, you know, we can't go through this again. We know how we felt the last time you threw a punch like this, and because of how it ended, you know, it just made you feel horrible. So it's just his aversion to actually doing it, and when he overrides it with anger, it all just comes like rushing back, and, you know, he throws up at the end there. We saw Yoko did go to Mexico, but then immediately took another flight to Venezuela. So, yeah, they haven't changed, like, Carlos's origin at all. He's still a Venezuelan fighter, but she just had a stop in Mexico that we didn't see anything, you know, nothing came out of it. But yeah, small changes here. Joe actually has this little moment to reflect. He's along the coastline, looking at the shimmering sun along the water. I really like that in the actual imagery in the show. It was really cool. And he's talking with Rikishi's ghost. And Rikishi's asking him if he's okay. And he says, yeah, nothing's bothering me. And he says, okay, I'll see you later. And, it kind of just fades out. But I actually like the way they did that in season 2 more than in season 1. Nothing like that ever happens. Also, Dangpei, as soon as Joe accepts the next fight, he's so pissed off, he just cracks Joe and then gets him in the ring and starts beating him up and, wants him to throw hard to the head. Joe comes close, but then again stops himself and breaks into this cold sweat. He's more just hoping that in the actual fight he'll be able to do it, and he doesn't even believe it, honestly. And, the events unfold just as they did in season 1. I'm guessing next episode is probably going to be Nango fight and then the underground, boxing league start of that. Hopefully when we get to the underground boxing part, it just kind of does like a time skip or something to really, really just get us right through it. It's not that any of these episodes have been bad or anything. It's just that because I know what's coming, there's just no tension internally. So it's just like, okay, are they going to make any kind of change? They've done minor things here and there, but for the most part, it's just the same stuff over and over again. So yeah, we're just trying to work our way through it. It's not like the show is bad or anything. I know it's going to be good. We just need to get to the point where we're at fresh material, and it's going to be another 2, maybe 3 episodes before we're at that point. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for now. So as always, thanks for watching, and peace.